When we imagine childhood, we think of scraped knees, messy drawings, and giggles from the other room. We don't picture hospital beds, chemotherapy drips, or a parent praying in the hallway while their child fights for their life. Childhood cancer interrupts everything. It interrupts things like birthdays and the excitement of the first day of a new school year. But childhood cancer also sparks something uniquely powerful, a community that never stops fighting. This dauntless community helps make the St. Baldrick's Foundation one of the leading volunteer-run charities for childhood cancer research. Since 2013, I have not only raised money for this organization, but have also proudly shaved my head, earning the title of Squire of Hope for how many times I have braved the clippers. I didn't start because I had a personal experience with childhood cancer. I started because I believed kids deserved better treatment and better futures. After 3 years of volunteering, childhood cancer found its way into my own family. 2 little girls I loved dearly, both under the age of 4, suddenly needed medical miracles. I spent countless hours in hospitals, babysitting while their parents flew between St. Jude and home, hoping, praying, and holding it together when outlooks looked truly grim. Today, those girls are thriving, and I genuinely believe that the research supported by organizations like St. Baldrick's is part of why. So today, I want to talk to you about the impact the St. Baldrick's Foundation has on critical pediatric cancer research, how it provides hope to families, and why it is imperative to volunteer. Let's start with the most essential aspect, St. Baldrick's mission and its research impact. The St. Baldrick Foundation has one clear mission: support the most promising research to find cures for childhood cancers and give survivors long and healthy lives. While it may be a simple mission statement, it is a profound one. We fight for kids with cancer to have the chance to grow up. According to the Foundation's website, St. Baldrick's is the largest non-government funder of pediatric cancer research grants in the United States. This means that when researchers have bold, life-saving ideas that might never receive federal funding, St. Baldrick steps in and makes those breakthroughs possible with financing. The American Cancer Society, a partner of the organization, emphasizes that these funds help support clinical trials, lab research, and the development of safer, more effective treatments specifically for children. Children don't get the same cancers that adults are diagnosed with. This means that they can't be treated the same way. So pediatric-centric research is an essential cog in the wheel of cancer research. An example of St. Baldrick stepping in comes from a recent grant awarded to the Medical University of South Carolina, where a researcher received funding from St. Baldrick to study a particularly aggressive childhood cancer. Research like this is only possible when organizations and donors step in and let scientists do what they do best: find cures and help people without the hindrance of bureaucracy. Research grants like the one given to MUSC include everything from early career scientist support to major multi-institutional collaborations. These grants accelerate discovery and help develop new treatments. Many pediatric cancer patients, including members of my own family, depend on these clinical trials for access to newest treatments available. Through their partnership with the American Cancer Society, St. Baldrick's helps advance national pediatric cancer research efforts and makes those trials possible. Another significant aspect of this foundation is the community that keeps it thriving. Our own city plays a special role in funding the St. Baldrick's Foundation. Just off the strip, McMullen's Irish Pub hosts one of the largest St. Baldrick's head shaving events in the country. A Fox 5 news story described how lively the pub gets each year, with supporters who shave their heads in solidarity with children undergoing treatment, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars, and uniting the community in hope. But the impact of these events goes beyond financial. They turn strangers into partners in a fight for children's lives. I'll never forget my first time shaving my head with St. Baldrick's. I was 24, a brand new mom, and my son was barely 8 months old. I had spent the entire previous year growing my hair out in preparation, and that day I donated 14 inches of my hair before shaving it all off. The moment I walked into the event at McMullen's, I felt something shift. The room was buzzing. Literally because of how many sets of clippers were going, but also because the room was packed. It was loud. The kind of loud that feels like a heartbeat. Cheers, laughter, encouragement. People were hugging, people were crying. People were celebrating children who had survived their battles and honoring the ones who had not, like the McMullins, who had lost their young daughter many years ago. I remember realizing that many of the people there weren't just supporters of the foundation. They were grieving parents, siblings, and friends. They had come to honor someone who had meant everything to them. Yet, despite the heartbreak in their stories, the event wasn't somber. It was filled with hope. As I sat down in the barber's chair watching my young son in my friend's arms, I thought about all the parents who wouldn't get those moments that mean everything. The bedtime stories, the fresh out of the bath smell, the messy spaghetti dinners, because cancer had taken those moments from them. As my hair fell to the floor, I wasn't thinking about my appearance. I was thinking about the kids who didn't get the choice in losing theirs. It was a very humbling feeling. That day transformed me. It showed me what it means to stand with families fighting something no one should fight alone. It showed me what community looks like when we rally for a cause bigger than ourselves. I knew then that St. Baldrick's would always be a part of my life. I would be part of this community here in Las Vegas. Therefore, I think more people should get involved with St. Baldrick's. There are countless reasons to get involved with this incredible foundation, one being that it earns strong marks for accountability and financial transparency according to the Charity Navigator. The donations we raise make a real impact in a truly tangible way through trials they fund. But if having a super short haircut is not your thing, that's perfectly okay. Head shaving is always optional, though I will admit it is incredibly empowering if you feel brave enough. You can participate in the annual McMullins head shaving event as someone who shaves others' heads, or join a team and collect donations. Donations are what fuel the imperative funding the organization needs to help research bloom. If all of that sounds too much, you can always share the mission online through your own social media. Anything helps, because every action we take for this charity increases a child's chances of survival from cancer. In conclusion, children with cancer need more than awareness. They need action. They need specific research. They need better treatment that are designed just for them. Most importantly, they need communities willing to stand behind them. For 12 years, I have stood alongside St. Baldrick's with a shaved head and a grateful heart. I've carried the title of Squire of Hope with immense pride because it reminds me of why this fight matters. It's about those 2 girls in my family who are alive today. It's about the children who are in hospitals right now doing battle with a disease no one should have to fear. It's about giving kids the childhood and the future they deserve. So I'm asking you today, join me. Join St. Baldrick's. Join the McMullins and experience the magic of the event for yourself. Let's make sure no child or their family ever has to fight cancer alone.